Welcome to an early morning video with AQW. This is one of the few times since I passed my exams a good amount of months ago that I actually woke up at 7 a.m., which was a normal wake-up time for me during school days, because I've had to go to school an hour later, and now I feel really tired. The reason I woke up is to do the duel special, because this was really the only time this week that my opponent could duel, but unfortunately my opponent wasn't there anymore, probably already went to sleep, so you'll have to wait a little longer for that duel special. We'll try to figure out a good time. It's just really busy, well, kind of difficult, especially for him to get a right time that he can duel me. But for now, I have the Elemental Hero Electrum deck, the OTK deck profile, requested by Sunami King AQW. It's a little bit different than what you saw in Duel 107, where I used it in, because of the new Forbidden Unlimited list. I had to change a few things, like Elemental Hero Stratos was out, a few side deck things changed, although I haven't really changed the side deck at all since the previous format. Let's go into the deck profile, and then at the end of the deck profile I'll tell you about the combo, although I did show it in Duel 107, so if you want to see the combo in action, watch Duel 107, because you'll see it in action, and then I also explain what's going on to give you a good idea. 3 cards. Now, I probably first should say you want Fusion Gate and Chain Material. You want these two. Those are the ones that started the combo. You don't need anything else. Card is there to help you draw into those cards. You have 1 of Bristinatrix, Clayman, Bubbleman, and Avian, because you need those 4 to make Elemental Hero Electrum. If any of them for some reason get banished by Dimensional Prison, or, well, any card that banishes them, you can forget your combo. I suggest you go play Gate Heroes, because this deck is, I believe, in a sense better than my previous Electrum OTK deck, because I did have another one, because that one focused purely on the Electrum OTK, and once that failed, it was a dead deck. It couldn't do anything. This deck, without the Electrum OTK, let's say Bristinatrix is banished, you can't do the OTK anymore, it can still function as a good working Gate Heroes. So Bristinatrix, Clayman, Bubbleman, Avian to make Electrum. 3 Elias, because it's a strong beat stick, 1900 attack, and it works as an Elemental Hero. You can search for it with E-Emergency Call, you can use it with Super Poly. You'll use mostly him for the Super Polys, although you can technically use any of the others, because you can still use Chain Material and fusion them from the grave. 1 Dark Hole to destroy stuff. 3 E-Emergency Call, used to be a 2 last format, decided to put it in instead of Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos could search for an E-Hero, Stratos could search for any hero, this could search just for an Elemental Hero, but I don't use any other heroes in the main deck than Elemental Heroes, so that one doesn't really matter. Now, I can't destroy monsters with it, but, you know, I mean spells and traps, and I don't exactly get a +1 in card advantage, but this is the best I could really replace Stratos with. Reinforcements of the army to add a warrior to my hand, which is pretty much always going to be Elias. Same for E-Call, actually. Fusion Gate, obviously to do the fusion summoning. So, Fusion Gate banishes. I suggest, unless you can make a really great play, with, let's say, you have Cardi and Bristinatrix, that's the only monsters you have, and you can make a really awesome play by making Elemental Hero Gaia. If you can make a really awesome play and pretty much win with it, then go for it. Otherwise, I suggest you don't, because using Bristinatrix for Fusion Gate means you can't do the OTK anymore, because Bristinatrix is banished. I have 1 Space Typhoon. I believe this used to be Heavy Storm, although I'm not entirely certain because I use a lot of traps. I wonder if I ever actually used Heavy Storm. But there's 1 MST in there. 3 Terraforming to search for Fusion Gate, because it's really important you get it quick, and Chain Material doesn't have any searchers. Technically you can use a Cat of Ill Omen, but that's just too slow. I used it in the previous OTK deck, didn't work well. 2 Dualities. You could go for 3. I haven't really used this deck in the new format, so haven't really done much testing to see what works well there. 2 Super Polymerization. It's a meh card outside of heroes, but if it's in heroes, especially Elemental Heroes, I mean, it's a good card. You just take, usually I'll take Elias, but you can use the others with it as well. and then just fuse it with any of the opponent's monsters, because if the opponent's monster is a light monster, you take the Shining. Wind is Great Tornado, Fire is Nova Master, Earth is Gaia, Dark is Escorido, and Water is Absolute Zero. One Bottomless to stop summons 3 Chain Material, obviously for the OTK, you want it quick, so that's why you have 3. Compulsory Evacuation Device, 2 Dark Bribe. I do believe I had 1 originally, but I replaced Solemn Judgment with one of them. Now, I realized they get a +1, like they get a draw, but if you can, usually I'll save Dark Bribe, or I used to save Solemn Judgment until I'm actually performing the OTK. Like, there's a good amount of cards that it can go around. Torrential Tribute, you just do one or two extra steps, and you can still do the combo. Like, if your combo get interrupted by Torrential Tribute, you can still do the combo. There are certain cards that cannot, however, if you like Bottomless Trample Gustav Mox. Well, no, technically that doesn't matter either. Bottomless Trample, you can work around that. Microcosmos, you can work around that. There's a few cards that can't be worked around, and then you have I save Dark Bribe to stop those cards. Dimensional Prison, 1 copy of that. I guess you could put in a second. I have 1 in there. 2 Breakthrough Skill. Used to be 2 Fiendish Chain, but I've been finding lately that Breakthrough Skill works better for me. Fiendish Chain stays on the field for more than 1 turn, affecting the monster for more than 1 turn, but it's once you MSD it, it's gone, and Breakthrough Skill, that's not the case. And Breakthrough Skill you can use a second time once it's in the graveyard, so that's helpful as well. But if you would like Fiendish Chain more than Breakthrough Skill, then go for that. 2 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential Tribute, and then the Solemn Warning. It used to be the Solemn Trio with 2 Solemn Warning and 1 Solemn Judgment, then the Solemn Duo, no, it's Solemn Solo. As in the extra deck, I have, well, all of my heroes, and then all of my combo pieces, and then a couple of hero fusions for Super Poly, but I also have Abyss Dweller, because Dragon Rulers and Mermails and stuff, they're still a thing, and you can make rank 4s with Clayman, Bubbleman, and Elias, so that's why this one is in. Gustav Mox, you only need 1 for the OTK, that's why there's 1 in there. 3 Electrum, you need 3 Elemental Hero Electrum for this OTK. You need at least 1 Gaia, Elemental Hero Gaia, and then you can choose. Either you go with 3 Gaia, or you go with 1 Gaia and 3 Shining. It doesn't matter. I personally prefer Elemental Hero the Shining, but it really does not matter. I just have Shining in there 3 times in over Gaia because I see myself, if I'm playing the Gate Heroes, if I can't do the OTK, then I see myself summoning 3 Shinings over 3 Gaias, because Shining, in general, is the better card. So that's why I run with 3 Shinings. I have Great Tornado in there, Nova Master, Escorido, and Absolute Zero to work with Super Poly. Now, Soul Drain is a card. It's a very good trap. Banish of the Radiance, because you don't have to be afraid of Microcosmos or Dimensional Fissure. It can stop opponents' plays, and you can still do the OTK under it. Your steps will be a little different, but if you know how to do it, it does work. 2 Maxi, 3 Snowman Eater. I believe this was here has been here since the Dino Rabbit days. As if that's that long ago. It's not even that long ago, but yeah, this was there to take out Lagia. Thunder King is still a good anti-mana card. 2 more MSC if you want to take out some more back row and hopefully defend yourself better against cards that can counter your OTK. Microcosmos and Dimensional Fissure. Used to have more of them, but yeah, they're both limited now. But they can stop opponents' plays, and you can work around it with the OTK. And then Fiendish Chain. Alright, that was the deck profile, but I'm going to tell you a bit about the combo. I can't exactly visualize it here for you. For that, I suggest that you please check out duel video 107. I use the Electrum OTK in that duel, and I also explain what I'm doing as I'm going along. So that will be the same explanation as I'll be doing now, but then visualized. So the idea is you play Fusion Gate in your field spell zone and then Chain Material, allowing you to fusion summon monsters from hand, from grave, from deck, from field. Pretty much anywhere but banished. And what you do, you fuse all four of these guys together. I'm just going to call them the original four to make it easier. You fuse the original four together by banishing them, because Fusion Gate banishes them, instead of sending them to the grave like polymerization. Original four are banished for Fusion Gate, you summon Electrum. Electrum's effect activates when a fusion summoned, shuffle all banished cards into the deck, so the original four go back into the deck. You then just fusion summon an Electrum again by once again banishing the original four, summoning the second Electrum. Electrum's effect activates, shuffling the original four once again back into the deck. You overlay both Electrums, because a level 10, into Gustav Max. You detach one of the Electrums to deal 2000 damage to the opponent. It's Gustav Max that will be dealing the damage, because you cannot attack during the turn you use chain material. And the fusion monsters are destroyed during the end phase, but you're not actually going to get to the end phase, because Gustav Max is going to finish it for you. So you've detached for Gustav Max, you've dealt 2000 damage. What do you do then? Then you use the effect of fusion, get to fuse Gustav Max with the Electrum that you detached for its effect earlier. It's a hero plus an earth monster, that's where you need your Gaia. Like Electrum works as can work as every attribute but dark, but this is not an elemental hero, so you have to use it as an earth monster for elemental hero Gaia. Then you still have an elemental hero Electrum in the graveyard, the one that was still on Gustav Max. So then you fuse that one with Gaia, using Gaia as the hero and Electrum as the light. Now I'm going the elemental hero, the shining version of the OTK. If you want to go Gaia, then you'll just use one of them as the hero and the other as an earth monster to summon the new Gaia. Up to you. But yeah, fuse Gaia with Electrum to form Shining. Then you have one Shining. What do you do then? You summon the third Electrum by once again banishing the original four from the deck. You summon the third Electrum. What the third Electrum does is not only shuffle the original four back into the deck, but it also shuffles back Gustav Max, two Electrums, the first two Electrums that you summoned, and Elemental Hero Gaia, putting them all back in the extra deck, and these four into the main deck. So now you can sort of see the loop. However, eventually you're going to run out of Elemental Hero the Shining, so how are you going to do that? You'll find out. So this is pretty much loop 1, although it's not an entire loop because it's not really infinite. Let's see what happens next. What you do next is you just do the same thing over again. Summon two Electrums by banishing the original four and then sending them back with Electrum's effects. Overlay into Gustav Max, detach one to deal 2000 damage, you're already at 4000 at that point. Once again, fuse Gustav with Electrum for Gaia, fuse the other Electrum with Gaia for Shining. Then you have two Shining. What you do then is you fuse the two Shinings you have on the field for the third Shining. Or if you're going for the Gaia variant, you fuse the two Gaias for the third Gaia. And then you summon the third Electrum, because that'll once again send back the original four, Gustav Max, Gaia, the original two Electros that you summoned, and the two Shinings. Once you've done that, you're back where you were after the first time you did the loop. And then you can just repeat and repeat until you've dealt enough damage for Super Dreadnought Rill Cannon Gustav Max to finish off the opponent. Once again, if you'd like to visualize how this effect works, I suggest you go to Duel 107. I use it there. And for the rest, I will see you guys in a later video. Bye-bye.